Alright, so in this lesson, we're going to learn about special selectors. Last time we learned binding selectors. This one, we're going to learn about modifying them. They are a certain. So, first off, pseudo classes. You're going to have to know. Pseudo classes allow us to make if you can see stuff is happening as you move your mouse. Hover over those icons, they both change color and they show a little tooltip. With it. So, CSS pseudo classes, because webcams, but classes that allow you to select elements in a specific state. For example, when a mouse is hovering over an element as a state, think almost like a state of an element: liquid, gas, solid. So the format for a pseudo class starts with the selector. The selector, what you normally know, pseudo class, and the property. Break that down a little bit more. And selector can be any selector: tag, class, combination, even disallowed selector. Pseudo class, several, but examples include hover, active, visit, hover, and link. CSS declaration, standard property and value combination. So we have basic selecting, right? Element right here, tag, changing every single p tag, making it red. However, I want to do something when we hover over that pair. This one selects all p tags. Mouse is hovering over is the state. State of that element being hovered over gives them the color red. Also, I'm not. So styling hover looks something like that, right? H2, hover. So hover is the state of the H element. We make it italic and we make it red. This applies to all H2 tags only when the mouse is hovering over it. Look at this GIF right here. Obviously, the ones not changed are in 1, or they might be in 8. So, sibling select here, remember the plus sign, all H2s that immediately follow in H1. So the first one's in H1, right? Second one's in H2. We're going to style only the H2 that comes after the H1. This was from the previous lesson. So, this H1 or this H2 follows this H1. When we hover over the H2, make it red. This applies to each element inside the body. Only when the mouse is over it. See it here? It's in my notes somewhere. There should be a space right here, technically. Or sorry. Read the comments for this explanation. I know it looks like we're just selecting body. We're really not. This and then selector for every. Yeah, that one explains it. So this applies to each element inside body only when the mouse hovers over it. So there's a space between body and here. Makes it element in. Whenever we hover over any element inside the body, because we put that space there, change to red. This one, no space. So deleted the slides ago. This one has no space between body and the colon. Normally just selecting by body. Selecting the body tag, putting it in the state hover. When we hover over it, making it red and italic. So go back, no space, selects the body tag, space, selects all the elements. Okay, so other pseudo classes. I mentioned that the state from one of them was hover. We have link. So select on visited link. So that's any visited. Opposite of that, we have visited. That selects visited link. And actives. the one currently being clicked on. So whenever you make a new website, right, like this is what you should include. Style link for every single state they're in. This is like, you know, we have the HTML skeleton. This should be included in your. You should always have it. So you have on visited links, links being hovered, links being clicked on. Watch and time the gifts changing. Unvisited links red, hovered over pink, clicked on purple. After it's visited. Some things to note. A hover must come after a link. A visited in order to work. A active must come after a hover in order. But warning. Browsers have default styling for links, so people get used to them. You might notice that if you go on certain websites, blue is an on visited. Red when you click on it, and it might be purple showing you went there. If you may have noticed that already on websites. Links. Only change these if you have a reason to. A lot of times you do have a reason to, right? Like you might change the whole color scheme of your website. That's you have a reason to. Like maybe your nav bar is going to be a different color. You have like a white background with paragraph text. Those links should be normal. That is why we use styling during mouse clicks, right? Like a lot. What does it do? It selects all paragraph and a grouping. We are grouping our selectors currently being clicked and gives them a background color. So E1 active, E active, and H active. Right, so we're grouping those. So when any P or H1 clicked, change the background color to yellow. Like this. Works for all of them. P and the H1. Does not work for the H6 because we didn't group that one. If we wanted to, we'd put a comma here, H6, colon. So next up, we have pseudo elements, or the pseudo class, modifying elements in. Pseudo elements allow us to style a specific part element's content. That means, fine, you might not know parts of. First, let's look at the format. Get it right and know the difference between element and a class. Notice pseudo element has two, count them, 1, 2 colons. Hard to see because of the R, but there's one colon. That's a colon right here. Another colon. Again, the selector can be any selector, tag, class, combination, or descendant and selectors. The pseudo element can be any valid pseudo element name. Examples: first letter or first or certain element. Now for image, have a first. You have to know the element. Declaration is a standard property value. So welcome to my page. This one, the P colon colon because it's pseudo element first letter. Modifying the first letter of a paragraph. Read, bigger font. Kind of like what we did with span. You have to walk before you can run. Other pseudo elements, you have first line, so the whole first line of a paragraph. Letter, do that example. But before, you get something before an element. After, something after an element. This might work for, like, you know, when you're at a restaurant and you have a menu at the top, that could be before and after. Before and after pseudo. Selection selects the portion of an element currently being selected by the user. Highlight something. Highlight something to copy and paste. So inserting content before, right? So if we want someone to pay attention to a paragraph, in this case, 3 paragraphs, do P 2 colons because it's a pseudo element, and the B4 pseudo element. Content, we want to store it, see the words listen up. So immediately when you look at that picture, you listen up, important, and a P element. This is what I meant by user selection, right? When you highlight something that looks different, standard highlighting it. The selection, right? So only when we highlight a paragraph, we change the background color to dark blue, color to white. Highlight the other stuff, normally it. Selector, 2 colons, 2, 2, 2, 2. Then, new element. So we can combine it all. Give you 5 points if you get this reference. So combining pseudos. Right? So we have P, active, after. So let's break it down. This right here, our selector. We're selecting by tag, by element, however you call it. 1 semicolon. That means this is the class. State of the paragraph elements. Active. After the content, but thanks. That element's active, you see the little GIF clicking on it. I'm pointing to where you can see, but you see the GIF clicking on it. Active, so when that paragraph is active, after it comes. There'll be examples on the website, so if this was a little bit too confusing for you, I'd say go back and watch it, pause it, maybe if that helps. And